Big news of the week here. We'll talk to Shane about this. So what are your thoughts on the David Bars buying one of their ingredient companies? I think it's called Epig or EPG. I mean, what are your thoughts on a company like kind of almost monopolizing that? Shane, you're probably closer to the whole thing than maybe Robert and I are.
I mean, EPG is the ingredient. Epogy is like or Epogy. I don't know how you say the actual company name is the one that owns it. I mean, EPG has been around for a while, like a very long time. Like I don't know exactly how long, but it's definitely earlier than the 2019, 2018. So it's basically I think it's like a plant derived modified fat where it provides the moisture and whatever of fat, but it's much fewer calories. So it's sort of like a lower calorie fat, you could say. And a lot of companies have used it for a while. And to be honest, I don't think it's not that monopolizing, to be honest. Like it is, I understand why the companies that have sued because they were using it, and obviously they aren't going to get priority, or I guess as much priority. Like, why would they? But at the same time, like, I mean, not that this is like a similar situation, but when whoever it was that bought Neurofactor, right? And no, everyone had to now call it Cognitique. Like, that's not exactly the same thing, but you could have complained. A lot of people were using Neurofactor, and they just changed, found something else. I would, and they bought it for 75 million, which is a lot of money, but at the same time, not that much money in the grand scheme of things if they are doing tremendously well. So I mean, smart move on David's part, like very smart move. And I mean, I would be more inclined to think it's not going to like go anywhere legally. Like it's not. I think it's. I mean, they might have to give them fair treatment, but I don't see, it leaving David's hands. But so I don't know. It's a smart move. That's it. And competition have to. Those guys. One of the brands I know, Own Your Hunger. They've been around for a very long time. They're part of the suit, and like it makes sense. That's their whole brand. Their entire brand is based around EPG. It's like their core functionality. So it makes sense as to why they would be a little bit annoyed that so and so came and snatched it up.
I agree. I agree with Shane. I agree with Shane. I think that I don't think anyone's winning this lawsuit. I mean, I could be wrong because anything can happen. But I agree with Shane. Number one, I mean, if there is something on the market and you want to buy all of it, then isn't it like a fucking free market? Because to me, it's monopoly, exclusivity. They all big words, but the thing is, we all want it. We all want to be the only ones on the market. Like I get very, very annoyed, and it's no secret when products that I come up with or the formulas that I come up with, they either copied or they very, very similar, and I can clearly see from other from other people that they kind of borrowed the idea from me or something like that, or from somebody else. And it's very, very annoying, but unfortunately it's the free market and it's just the way it is. And I remember having a conversation with Shane about it. We talked about it where I was because Shane is besides the fact that we're in the same industry, Shane is also a good friend of mine, and we text each other. And with my temper and everything, I went to my friend and I said, like, I'm very, very annoyed by the fact that that I'm copied. And he even knows who I'm talking about. There are a couple of brands actually that have copied Apollon. And he actually calmed me down, and he was absolutely right. He goes to me, they copied you. You didn't copy them. You just have to be one step ahead and continue evolving and to continue to be better and better and better. And that's it. And he's right. And this is exactly the same thing. David's Barr, they saw something. They did something that somebody else could have done it. Somebody else could have done it. Now they're crying and they're suing and whatnot. And to me, it's pathetic. Honestly, I'm rooting for David's Barr. I tried the bars. I wasn't that impressed. I'm still prefer Bearbells. I'm Team Barebells. But in terms of the fact that it's actually pretty good macros for a protein bar, good for them. They achieved something great. They're selling crazy, and the fact that they were the first. If you want to call it monopoly, call it monopoly. I mean, I don't give a shit. But the truth is, they jumped on something that all these companies could have done exactly the same thing. It was open to them. But David's Bar, and they invested, they went for it, they did it. Now these fuckers are crying. Well, fuck you. You know what? I mean, you just jealous bitch that somebody else did it and you didn't.
It's the same as concrete, right? Like for
Yeah.
or concrete creatine, they have their own line, but then they sell to others. What's the pH buffered one? CreaFX. I can't remember.
Yeah, with the FX. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their ingredient, and they sell it to others. So that's likely to be what's just going to happen. They're just going to sell it to others, and of course, you're going to prioritize yourself.
Of course,
it just is what it is.
Yeah, like you guys, I'm Team Barebells too. So I was just actually chomping the first time. I haven't had David Bars. I was literally just trying 2 of them now. The blueberry pie and the double fudge brownie wasn't bad. I mean, the blueberry pie
wasn't bad. It's not great, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. Shane, you're young, but do you remember Power Bar? Because this one brings me back. Robert might know the old Power Bar from like the 90s that the athletes would take. Same like gold foil, like runners.
You're actually right. Now I remember it. I mean, but those days, I mean, you could literally break your teeth.
It was like taffy. Yeah.
That was bad. It was tasted bad, and you literally could break your teeth.
I think the David Bar, it got a lot of attention because of the macros, right? Like you've never seen 28 protein to 150 calories. It's closer to a protein powder than a protein bar.
You're right, but there is another thing that I noticed. Extremely, and I mean extremely aggressive marketing. And they remind me of somebody. I'm not a fan, but what is that company that does proprietary blend pre-workouts? They were hot. I don't know if they're hot now. Insane Labs.
Oh yeah.
So when Insane Labs came out, I remember getting phone calls from them to the gym. They would call me at the gym and they would offer me free cases of Insane Labs. I mean, it obviously didn't cost much to make that stuff, but I would imagine they called all the gyms, because I know there are a couple of gyms in New Jersey that were selling them, and they were offering cases. So I guess, whoever owns Insane Labs, they have deep pockets, because they literally allocated a lot of free stuff, and they were offering me, I think at that time, I don't know how old Insane Labs is, but I want to say that it's probably younger than a palm. I want to say, but I'm not sure, because for some reason I turned them down, and I think I would never turn down stuff like that. I was only turning down people because we had a palm, so that's the reason I didn't want to sell other people's brands. So I think that's the reason why I turned them down. But regardless, they were sending free stuff, and surprisingly, I got I think DM or email and a phone call from David's Bar, and they were like, we'll send you free stuff, just it's free, a case or box or whatever, just try it out, see how it goes. It's exactly the same tactic. So I'm pretty sure if they reached out to me, they probably reached out to gyms across the country. Yeah. I mean, I guess they have that type of money where they can just send out free stuff, invest, I don't know, $1 million, $2 million into something like that, and just send it as marketing thing. But it's great. And, they did a great marketing campaign overall. I see them. I was in Vitamin Shop a couple of days ago, and I saw them selling them. And I asked the guy, I was like, how does this shit sells? He goes to me, it flies. He says, it flies. People are buying it. It was very, very popular. I didn't ask him how to compare it to Bearbells, but clearly there is demand. And again, Bearbells tastes way, way better. There is no comparison. It's just like a whole other level. But in terms of like good macros, I mean, it's definitely not that bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, for what it is, it's fine.
Yeah, but the other thing too, Rob, you got to remember is, yes, it might be moving, but how many repeat customers? Like companies can sell, it's a number one pre-workout, but how many people are buying a second and third tub? A second and third bar.
I still think, it's my personal opinion, I don't think that they're going to be able to battle Bearbells, because people that are buying protein bars, I don't think that they take into account every calorie of protein, type of protein and stuff like that. And obviously, David's Bar is probably cleaner than Bearbells, but it just, for most people that buy, because let's face it, athletes, especially the ones who are prepping for shows, people who are dieting for specific events, they're not going to use those bars. Those bars are for average Joe mostly, or for somebody on a go as a meal replacement and stuff like that. they're not gonna go into deep details about the supplement facts and nutritional facts on a panel. They're gonna try, and you're right, I think, Sean. They're gonna try David's Bar. They're gonna go to Bearbells, because just Bearbells with so many flavors to choose from, and just how delicious they are. I mean, that's pretty much borderline candy bar. It's just phenomenal. Nobody can touch that flavor. They can hate me all they want. No American company, nobody can touch Bearbells, not one.
Yeah. Shane, you're the one that got me into them. When you bring them on a podcast a while ago, I almost feel like Bearbells is like the Apollon, where I feel like Bearbells is coming out like a new flavor like every 2 weeks, or every week I feel like there's a new flavor coming out.
I mean, they've been around since because I found them when I first had them. I was in Iceland in 2018 because they had launched in 2017.
Oh wow!
And then they came to the US in maybe 2019, 2020.
Okay.
It took them a while, but like they were going slow and steady. They weren't trying to like force themselves in a vitamin shop in GNC, so they went state by state, and they grew and grew. And they it's a little bit interesting though, because they launch flavors. Like Germany will have flavors that you can't get anywhere else. UK, Sweden, US has its exclusive flavors, but like it's they're pretty fast on innovation, mostly because each area I think operates quite individually. So like they have a protein powder in Germany, but you would never have seen it in any other country.